I gotta say, you guys really are awesome. The ones here in the audience, the one at home. Love having you guys here. You're amazing. Now, guys, welcome back to Week 3 of the North American LCS. Before we get to our third game of the day, which is CLG versus Team Coast, I'd like to welcome Pobelter and Crepo here to the desk. You guys coming through with the win. Tell me, both of you, how you guys felt about this game coming into it.
Personally, I was a little bit shaky because I got sick yesterday, so I wasn't sure whether I was going to perform up to par or not, but okay. I'm comfortable with my performance this game.
Yeah, I got to say it was pretty good. Crepo, how about you?
Conveniently, Skara was sick last week at the LCS. This week they're not playing, and suddenly all the LCS players are sick. I mean,
it's that Dignitas sabotage.
Yeah, connection there. But yeah, we had to win pretty much. Like, there's no way around it. Like, our results are pretty disappointing. We had to win, and then the game started. Like, we were confident with our picks and bans, and then Pobelter just got first blood. I was like, all right, let's do this.
So let's actually talk about that first blood then, Pobelter, because you came in, you showed up incredibly strongly on Gragas. Talk to me about that first blood. We actually have a replay of that first blood. And half speed, tell me what happened in this fight.
Okay. So wait, is the replay gonna pop up?
It's gonna pop up anytime now.
Tell me about the matchup at the very start.
Okay, so early on, Gragas can play really aggressively, so I was body slamming in and stuff. So right here, I body slam in, but I haven't regen enough from my health pot, so I'm in a bad spot because I can die right here. So I have to burn flash. I flash after he flashes because his Q cooldown is still down, and he gets kind of greedy, so he takes a turret shot, and then because of my range, I'm able to slam back in.
Oh,
actually,
wow.
He tried to come back into me to Q me again, and I think if he just kept running, then my body slam wouldn't have hit him, and then he would have been able to Q me as that ended, and we would have gone kill for kill with Ignite.
Oh, wow. So an incredibly close trade then right there.
Yeah.
It worked out for you. And, of course, you turned on to really start carrying that game. How do you convert like an early lead in lane into completely dominating? You rush a Deathfire Grasp of all things.
Well, the most important thing is to make sure that you know where the jungler is at all times. So you have to make sure that you're carrying a lot of wards and not playing over-aggressive when you don't know where the jungler is, because at that point, the only way that they could get back into the game was if they managed to get a kill on me with no repercussion. And
you managed to play it safely, started out 3-0, did a whole bunch for the team. Now, Crepo, I want to ask you then about your choice here. You went with Alistar. We don't see him very much. Why the pick?
Yeah, they had pretty interesting picks and bans, actually. Like, they banned out Urgot and Leona, which is something we didn't really expect them to do. We had a way around it. Basically, I think they banned out Urgot because they didn't want Urgot Soraka to be played again. Then they banned out Leona, so it was like one of my comfort picks. And then they first picked Thresh, thinking like there's nothing left because we banned Annie ourselves because it's a very very engaging champion, and it's very hard for us to deal with that sometimes. So we had pretty much none of the trifecta left because Leona and Annie were banned and Thresh was picked by them.
Yeah.
But I've been playing a lot of Alistar recently, and yeah, we just went for that, and it works really well. It's another aggressive champion, popular for tankiness. You can peel, and they ended up picking Cardis later into it, which is really good. The disengage potential from Alistar is really good against their composition. So
we actually have a replay then. It's a 30 minutes into the game, a Baron fight. We have a replay. Talk to me through how this fight goes for you guys.
Yeah, right about now, Inox gets hooked, so the fight's basically starting because of that. And all we have to do is basically hit the front line. We can't go in for that back line because Cardis will just jump in and AoE us. I don't know exactly what happened, so it looks like we're going for a Pulve and Dominate. He overextends.
Yeah, we caught him with the Pulverize.
I actually don't pop my ulti. I really play poorly here, so I'm just left shouting in voice comm right now what they have to do, and all we have to do is disengage. Quaz goes in, don't stand in his defile, stand back. Meanwhile, Inox is going because he has a GA. Pobelter is going ham in the front, but our backline needs to be really careful that they don't stand in defile. Just kill the first target you see and then just disengage. But all in all, that was actually a poorly played fight for me. I went for the knock-up from Pulverize, and then I want to stand behind him and knock back him into the team, but I didn't pop my ulti quick enough, and I just melted. If I popped my ulti there, that would have been a clean maybe 5-4-2 and Baron. So that's actually my team carrying me there.
Well, good job. You, even though the fans called you Crepo Carry, it seems that you were the lightweight one here.
Definitely.
Well, good job in this one. So coming through, right, you guys are starting to turn your season around a little bit more here. Pobelter, I want to kind of get back to you because you're playing around a high school schedule. You're still in school, not in a gaming house.
Right.
How's it working for you guys?
So my daily schedule is on the weekdays I go to school, wake up at 7, come home at 3, and then from 4 to 10 we have scrims, so I have an hour break to finish up homework or study for tests or whatever. And then on weekends I just go to LCS, come back, and then do some more schoolwork.
So it's pretty regimented schedule. You kind of got the same things going on every day.
Yeah.
Crepo, is that just easy to work around? You just shift your schedule backwards? Because you've been on teams for a while now.
Yeah, I mean, coming into the season, everybody always said, Pobelter has high school, we'll have to work around the schedule. I'm like, okay, this will be a challenge. And then he told me, yeah, I'll be home at 3. I'm like, okay, let's start scrimming at 3 then until 10. I think more than 6 hours scrims in a day it can work, but it will drain your energy. And if you put your effort into those 6 hours and do that properly, we can play solo queue outside of that. Pole Vaulter can fit in games where he can. Sure, if he didn't have school, he could play a lot more solo queue and just work on everything. But those 6 hours of scrims and then the odd like 1, 2, or 3 hours he finds to play solo queue next to it is definitely more than fine.
Actually, a follow-up for you, Pole Vaulter. Do you have like fans at school, people that come up to you?
Yeah, I actually do. It gets kind of awkward sometimes because I don't really like to talk to people about my league side at school, I guess. So I try to kind of avoid it and give clear the answers if they're like, "Oh, wow, is he playing on a team with EG?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
And you just kind of keep them separate.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on, then we have our fourth game of the day is Cloud9 TSM. Pole Vaulter, you first. Predictions for this game?
No clue, honestly. I think that both of them are the top 2 teams in North America right now. So obviously, this is the team that everyone wants to see. You know, people are gonna have to choose to see the Super Bowl or this match. So I think it could go either way.
It's gonna be us. Krepa, what's your thought?
I think TSM, honestly. Cloud9's playing, they're a very good team, but TSM has been playing a lot better recently as opposed to before. I mean, their bot lanes, like Wild Turtle especially, is one of the strongest bot lanes around. Bjergsen's, every game he plays, he at least has one point where he's like, oh yeah, he's mechanically outplaying his opponent. And I think they're just going to take it.
All right. Well, guys, thank you very much for your time. Congratulations on the win. We'll, of course, see more of you guys throughout the season. We got games going on, guys. Let's send it back across the studio to Riven Jat for our third game of the day.